Hello, and thank you for joining me again for another episode of the Tech Exec podcast, where we create world-class engineering teams. I'm your host, Aviv Ben-Yosef, and our subject today is investing in yourself. First of all, let me say that I apologize if I sound a bit scratchy. I've got a scratchy throat, so we're gonna also keep this episode as short as possible for the benefit of all of us. Investing in yourself is the most important thing you can do when it comes to your own personal development and to maximizing the leverage you've got in your organization, in the company. The better you get, the bigger of a force multiplier that you are, the more leverage you have, and the more impact you and your whole organization are going to have on the business. Now, investing in yourself does not automatically translate into money. And money sure does help, but you also have even more resources that sometimes are even more important than just the capital investment you need to be making. So let's just as an example, I want to walk you through how I've invested in myself in the past month alone. I've got a list here. So first of all, I've got a coach that I talk to at least once a week. I read a bunch. I try to read like 2 books a month, which is one actual book, one audiobook, an audible, and I read a bunch of articles constantly. I read 2 newspapers, the Wall Street Journal every day and another Israeli newspaper, and I constantly consume information, like 30 minutes a day. I had a mastermind session with a bunch of peers to help each of us develop and grow. I've signed up, and this is a bunch of capital. I've signed up to a conference, workshop held in the States in November because I want to invest in myself again. And another example is I've been diligent about putting in the time and doing my thinking blocks. I've mentioned it before, and I've mentioned it also in my book, The Tech Executive Operating System, that it's important to have these leadership blocks. Time that you just sit down with no real agenda and you think. So all of these are just, again, the stuff I've been doing in the past month alone. And you can see from here that only some of these require money. The rest require a resource that is even scarcer, and that's time. You have to invest in yourself. Make the time to improve. Find the right support groups. You don't have money or budget for a coach? Well, that's a different issue, and I'm not going to go into that. But let's say that's the right thing for you. Find a different support system. Create a mastermind group because, that doesn't have to cost any money. Read real good books. Don't just, browse Medium because whatever pops up there might not really be worth your time. Don't just go over Twitter, doom scrolling day after day. Take the time and invest that in reading real books, in getting valuable content, in getting some new opinions, new perspectives. I don't just read about our industry. I read about everything because, every book has an idea that makes me a rounder person, that helps me understand and connect more dots. So I might be reading books about marketing, about product work, about history. I don't care. Each and every book helps me, especially if I'm very diligent about selecting the right books, because every minute I have is important and I want to use it. You can just have these thinking blocks, these leadership blocks to help you move forward. I always try and make sure that my clients have time to think, that they make time to think, make time to lead. Because if you don't do that, you're not actively leading. You're just following through on whatever happens to be on your calendar. You go from meeting to meeting to meeting, session to session, and you don't take the time to be proactive, to think and solve things before they have materialized to a meeting, to a problem that needs to be solved right now. I just finished today's thinking session for myself. my leadership block was about investing time to think about the new kinds of processes and ideas that I want to deliver to my clients in the next couple of months. I'm constantly thinking about providing them with new value. I will not simply do the same stuff over and over again. I constantly review what I'm doing, take in the time, take in ideas, and come up with new ways of doing stuff, come up with improvements, come up with intriguing ideas. And I collect those. And in this session, I wrote like 2 pages of notes. And I'm excited about using that. And this is exactly the kind of stuff you should be doing. You should be thinking about, I don't know, where your team is headed, about your role in the company, about your partnerships in the C-suite. Are you close enough to all your peers? Do you understand where the business is heading? That sort of stuff. So let me just sum up. You need to invest in yourself. And I just happen to have a very nice idea for how to invest yourself. You can subscribe to my newsletter and be the first to know when my book is out in a couple of weeks. And trust me, that's a solid investment. Make the time to continuously improve yourself because you are your own best asset. That's it for this week. Thank you for joining me. The link to the newsletter is in the show notes. Check it out and talk soon.